If you're wondering why I'm yawning, it's because it's about to be 3 a.m. It's 2:35 a.m. and I took a fat nap like around 8, 9. I woke up like around 12 and I've been up ever since. And that's the worst thing about taking naps. You just wake up in the middle of dawn and then you regret it because I should be asleep right now. But it's okay. Don't look at my crusty nails. It says, "Girl, build your own empire." This is one of my favorite candles. This is the second time I bought this. You're a woman in control, taking charge of your destiny. But life is full of distractions. So remember to pause for some me time. Declutter your big, beautiful mind. Empower and nourish your inner boss babe. Go get him. Gold digger. XO. Candler. Make a wish. Don't. Guys, I notice whenever I record my videos, I always do a fucking low ass angle. And I get my whole double chin, and then I hate the video because all you see is my double chin. And I'm like, why am I recording it, filming downward? Anyways, candles lit. Not sponsored, but, Girl Scout cookies. Fun fact, I used to be a Girl Scout in elementary school, like, for, like, 3 or 4 years. And, I was the oldest in my Girl Scout. I think I was in 3rd grade, and the rest were, like, in 1st grade. And I used to get bullied and made fun of because I was the shortest in the Girl Scout community. And I would get trolled on, literally. And my mom had to go up to one of the girls' mom and be like, "Hey, like, this is not cool. You're bullying my daughter, blah, blah, blah." And then it stopped. They just hated me. And then every single time when it was my turn to bring in a snack, they made fun of my snacks. So as a young kid in elementary school, it was kind of hard navigating friendships, and I often leaned towards like having more boys as friends than girls as my friends, just because I feel like my personality is more dominant than it is feminine, if that makes any sense. And I just vibe better with them. And I remember this one time I was sitting at the table and the gym teachers came in, and then there was a whole group of girls that way, but I was like executed out from them, so I was sitting with a whole group of boys. And my health teacher was like, "What are you doing with the boys? Like, why don't you go hang out with the girls?" And I'm like, "But they're my friends." And at the time, like, I didn't understand like this prejudice adults or like people have with girls being friends with guys and it not being platonic, but like it has to be romantic because in society we assign those kind of gender roles and what is to be norms, these societal norms, whatever. So like growing up, like, I don't know, I feel like that really got to me because I was struggling with my identity. I feel like I struggled with my identity up until like middle school. I feel like I kept trying to mold myself to what people wanted me to be or what they believed me to be. And something that I've noticed about me in childhood and me now is that one thing that never has changed is my kindness. And I feel kindness is really rare, and it's a rare quality trait to have. Kindness and empathy, to really like listen to people. And I feel like the place I was born into, which is a very small urban community, not a lot of resources, low income minorities, like I grew up in kind of poor environments than most people. I remember for my first communion, I got McDonald's. It's just funny. I'm sorry. That was like so off topic. But I got my shoes in Payless. We used to donate a lot of clothes too and like go to flea markets. So like my childhood was kind of built upon struggle, but also it's kind of hard to talk about my childhood. And one of my goals, actually, this is funny, but I'm taking a not creative writing class, but like a creative process fundamental writing class, something like that. And my professor, she reminds me of Carrie Bradshaw. Like, I love her, but she really encourages me to be brave in my writing, or she encourages me to, like, this kind of secret that I've kept for my whole life for 22 years. And I wrote it down on a paper, and she's like, "You keep writing about this, why don't you just dedicate your whole nonfiction piece to it? Like, you write a short story about it." And I'm like, "Okay, bet." And I'm writing it, and it's like very personal, it's very emotional. I'm like, I cry as I read it. And she's like, "You have to speak out loud in front of the class and say this." And I'm like, "What the heck?" And I was talking to her back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, I really don't know if I could go up to the whole class and share this personal story that's me. And she's like, no one has to know that it's you. You know, I put a fictional character in it. I made it so it's like in a character's point of view and not like a personal story biography. And she's like, you have to, maybe you don't know who needs to hear the story, how many people you can touch, inspire, or motivate with your story. And I'm like, okay, you know what's the worst that could happen? Like, this is something I've never done in my life before, but it's something I always write about. I always notice that whenever I'm writing a piece or whenever I'm doing something or writing poems or whatever it is, it could be just small little writings here and there, I always go back to that. I always go back to those years, to those times of just pain, of abuse and suffering. And it is a huge portion of my life, you know. Getting that out there felt really relieving. And I said it to the whole class. And after that, like, the responses I received were overwhelming because I did not notice, like, the power of someone voicing what had happened to them can really bring people together and, like, form a unity where we feel seen and we don't feel invisible and we feel as if we can be loved, we can be cherished, and we can persevere this pain that has neglected us for so long, for 22 years. And then, like, I no longer want to give in to this victim mentality. I want to be brave and I want to transform my life around. And it's really hard because I still live in my parents' house and there's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of fighting. I feel like whenever I'm talking to my parents, it's never civil. It's always an argument and this and that. So my home life has always been very toxic. And I commute to the city. I'm in New York, as y'all know. So having that Hannah Montana double life is very difficult to balance because I feel as if when I come here, my whole dream is distinguished. I feel drained. I feel like I can't do anything because the two people that birthed me, like, don't give me that support, that courage, that love, that motivation. And I think of the time when you know, I feel like breaking generation cycles is so important, and my parents did not do that. So, them having bad parents conditioned them in their behaviors to do the same thing again, even though they had the ability to change and do things differently and maybe love their kids, support their kids, listen to their kids. No, they did the complete opposite. Instead, whatever they saw growing up, they contributed to that again. And I remember as a very young girl, I told myself, I grew up very independent, and I feel like that is why I struggle to be in relationships. I've been single, guys, for about almost 7 years, but I've been 6 or 7, I don't know, but I've been single for a long time, and I struggle to get into relationships because I hate men, okay? Maybe this comes from my daddy issues. I'm trying to find a good man, but, like, no man has ever proved to me that they're worthy enough because I don't know, I guess I've counted all the rotten apples. My independence is something that's very important to me, and if my partner does not understand that or does not give me a space, like, to hold space, defying gravity, like, I can't do that. And the last guy that I was talking to lasted for like a month. I met him in like New Year's, like a New Year's party, whatever. I met this guy. It was really good, but it reminded me a lot like my ex. The correlations were crazy, and he was from Europe too, different region. But I was just like, okay, this is kind of sus. You talk the same. This is tripping me out. It didn't work out, and this man would ask me all the time, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, just like a very attached, clingy person that did not respect me, my independence, or me wanting to have space. So I think when I do eventually find someone, I do want to feel adored and inspired by me, that he allows me to have that space to flourish, that he allows me to build myself, you know, help me too as well. Like, we can build it together. We could build that empire together, baby daddy. Like, come on. I'm sorry, that went off topic. So the struggle has been real. I'm currently a junior, my third year, And it's gotten really difficult. It's gotten really hard. Not in the academic kind of way, but in the way where it's mentally and financially has been an expense. And I don't know how I'm gonna accumulate all this money to pay off all this debt. But like, please blow up this video, okay? So I could go somewhere in life, because my parents don't believe I will. Okay, please like and subscribe. I'm very passionate in my studies. That's the thing about me. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, is that I'm more knowledgeable than people think. And I love when people underestimate me, because I notice that a lot. And that just encourages me way more of this hunger and this drive, determination, and to like prove them wrong with this kind of villain arc. But it's really just my success is my revenge. The girl dressed in red. And I don't know what this year has in store, because I just feel like it's always so turbulent towards the beginning. It's always so turbulent. And it's the year of the snake, so we're shedding, we're transforming, we're changing, we're going to different little slopes, you know? I just don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to live in the pain and the trauma. I want to like get myself out there, and I want to be somebody important. I want to become everything, you know? I want to become everything someday. And so back to me writing that little poem in class, I noticed that if I wrote that whole little short story and I spoke it in front of the whole class, my trauma that I've kept for 22 years and no one knows about, I told myself that there is nothing that you can't do. After doing that, there is nothing in this world that is stopping you. You can do anything, literally. There is nothing stopping you. So what are you so afraid of? Getting judged? Scared? Girl, if that's what you're afraid of, you can't be afraid of people judging you, guys. Like, I have to tell you this like straightforward. If your greatest fear is people judging you, not in the way where it's like appearance wise, but judging you in the way your skills or the way you talk, to your own beliefs, I don't know, but like I'm saying, that judgment is not substantial, okay? It does not matter in the end of the day, because the real judgment that matters is the way that you judge yourself. And that is so important, because I feel as if I lived my whole life negatively thinking, talking to myself, because that's how I grew up. That was what my parents always talked to me. Like, they always degraded me. They've said belittling words. I was called nothing. I was called a mistake. I was called a bitch. I was called so many things that I could just go on and on. That is engraved in my brain, and that has hurt me in ways that I cannot describe, but it has affected my life greatly, okay? And not because I let it, but because that's how I was raised. That's how I grew up. So like those environments, it conditioned me to believe that I was nothing. Wow, like have you ever thought of going to art school? And I'm just like, I'd love to. And I don't know, those moments make me really sad, because I used to draw a lot and I loved it. But that girl, she died. Unfortunately, she died. And that passion was distinguished because my parents went like this. They distinguished a fire. And COVID happened, and I was severely depressed, and everything kept changing. And then when I went to community college, I told myself, Liz, I gotta establish myself here. I got myself involved. When people say, how do you get into NYU, or how do you go to these great 4-year schools, I'm gonna tell you the cheat code. Get involved in your community. Do a lot of community service work. Maybe start a nonprofit. Do something different. Like, change your community. A lot of schools like that. And not just because of schools, but because you can learn a lot from working with your community. And I've learned so much from just those previous experiences that I've had. And I'm not somebody that will ever forget, like, those core memories that created this foundation. So, get yourself involved, and yeah. And even though, like, I'm in NYU, it is struggling because I commute, and it's not easy. It's very draining. It's hard. I sometimes dread going into the city just because I get, like, very anxious. Sometimes I throw up. or most of the time I can't digest food. Like when I'm out there, like I'm not hungry because I feel like I'm gonna puke. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand myself either. I just feel like the city is so big and I love the city. But when you're there alone, it could be so intimidating because like being alone in the city is like a beautiful experience. It's like main character and the purpose. But I love going to the city with my sister because I hope one day I get to live with her out there, get our own house, and I could take care of her and stuff. We could take care of each other. I don't know, because our plan is to one day move far away from here, and I feel like I can't when I think of moving, I can't leave this place without my sister. You know what I mean? Like I feel as if that's my child because I raised that little infant. Quite literally. I can't sleep. Just thinking all the time. I have a meeting today, 12, for this program that I'm doing at my school. And I'm going to Oklahoma in like a couple weeks. It's March 7th. So I would say like it's the 24th or 28th. So that's really fun. And I'm going to have a pit stop, like a little layover, Denver Airport, Colorado, and I specifically chose that because I'm going to record a little mini vlog touring the Colorado Denver Airport because it's haunted and I love scary spooky stuff. So you're going to see me do that. Hopefully I get enough in my camera storage, like I have a lot before I could get to my gate, because then I would be fucked if I'm late, you know what I mean? So hopefully that goes well. I'm excited. I feel like I really want to meet new people this year, get myself out there, create more, craft more, build more money, make something of myself, grow this channel because I've been wanting to become a YouTuber all my life. Don't look at my little pet shop videos. I have so many videos on the internet and I've forgotten the passwords of the accounts. So this is the only account where I remember the password because it's the account I always used. And I just wanted to post my journey in my life because I really feel as if no one in this internet that I've seen has my story or my life experiences. So I'm like, you know what, Liz, let me just open my laptop and talk about my thoughts that keep me from sleeping. Trying to get more videos out. Please be patient with me. The inspiration sometimes lacks. Look at my cute Sony Angel. It fell out my computer, so like I'm trying to figure out how to stick it back. It's so cute. Lately, my biggest worry has been my finances and just where the direction of my life is going, because I have no clue or idea, and I feel as if like I'm jumping into risky waters because I want it, and now I have like so much overwhelming thoughts because I have like, what if I don't get it? What if it doesn't happen? But then like God is like, but what if it does? You know, like kid, like what if it does though? Like what if you're kind of too hard on yourself and the expectations that you have like are limiting you because you're always constantly negative thinking. So it's like rewiring your brain to think that you can do it. This chapter that I'm on, I don't think it's no longer the same book. We discarded it because I really feel as if there's a red book in our table, and this book is new and it's fresh with blank pages, and there's a chapter in it that says feast on your life. That is the year we're stepping in. That is the year. You don't know what's going to open up for you in this path of your life. You don't understand the greatness of the light of abundance and success that is coming in, of opportunity that's going to present itself to you. I feel as if you're going to meet someone high, someone important that's going to change your life. You're going to touch so many people. I feel as if you don't believe you're a great person or a good person, but a lot of people see that trait in you that is rare to find in others, and they are attached to you because of that great energy. And there's so much you can do with your life that you don't know about, but you soon will be able to find out, because you are about to create something big, something of yourself, and all these people that doubted you, they're gonna be your fans. And after reading that little poem up in my class, I might as well write a book about it. And who knows, maybe it'll be a New York Times bestseller and I'll be signing it. I don't know. I've always wanted to be a writer, so like maybe just write a story about my life. I don't know. Stepping into a new light of your life, feast on it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. If you're, oh my god, if you're scared, it's okay. That's normal. When big things happen, it's normal to be scared because sometimes we don't know how big it is until we receive it, and then that's how we can feast on it. We can fulfill it because we have it. We attained it. And it's what we do with what we have that matters, you know? No dream's impossible. If you're having doubt that you can't do it, you gotta rewire your brain and tell yourself, put on a motivating video. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself wise words of affirmation, empowering yourself. Because the power is really you. Like, you have that power to, like, harvest, to manifest. The world's your oyster, my darling. So feast on your life. Feast. That is all. It's 3 a.m. now. And I should probably go to bed, but I probably won't. This is the Higher Self Podcast episode from my room. Welcome to the Higher Self Podcast. I should have introduced. But I haven't uploaded this in a long time, so that's why I'm sitting down here and talking to you guys.